Jacoby. We are Jalen Jacoby. What is it we do?
We give the people what they want.
Thank you for joining us on this opening day. We have a lot to discuss. Jalen Rose was in attendance at an NBA game, and he's got some details from the sides on that. And I'm going to tell you who the only sure thing in the NFL draft is. But we'll start with the Los Angeles Lakers taking another L in the absence of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They debuted Drummond, but he got hurt. Jalen, I'm concerned about the Lakers. What are the chances that the Lakers could actually be headed for a play-in game just into the playoffs?
The chances are a lot better than a Ron lover like yourself and Laker fans would have predicted at the beginning of the season. However, injuries happen, and these are the Lakers that have very short offseason. LeBron James has been excellent this year up until this period of time, put himself healthy, and only missed one game going into All-Star break. Then after All-Star break, a freak injury has caused him to be out a prolonged period of time. The thing that's catching up with him is no one really anticipated Anthony Davis to miss this much time. It taxed LeBron, taxed the team, and with both of those guys out, yeah, you bring Drummond. You don't bring him in to be the best or the second best player. You bring him in to play a role. You bring him in to catch lobs and
rebound,
and be a distributor from the 5 spot. And to be a rim run, you're not bringing him to replace Anthony Davis. But if Lakers are healthy, I'm not picking a team to beat them in this 7-game series. But here's what I'll say to anybody who just dismisses seeds. Here's what I want to say to you if you want to dismiss seeds. You can overlook the Jazz, the Suns, and the Clippers, and the Mavs. Here's the problems when you dismiss seeds. Portland has Dame. The Pelicans have Zion. Memphis is going to get Jaren Jackson back to go with Ja. And the Mavs have Luke, which means great players have a chance to do special things and upset anything you see in the standings. Stay tuned.
That's right. The Lakers do not want to be in a one-game tournament-style survival advance type of situation, and they could be headed that way. But before we move on, I want to point out something, a winning team in this game, the Bucks. Jrue Holiday is back. Jrue Holiday last night had season-high 28 points, 8 boards, assists, 4 steals. Jrue Holiday is the Jrue Holiday that they gave away all those assets and players to bring in. I think that this is the Jrue Holiday they wanted. This is what they upgraded from Bledsoe. And last couple of games, he has please shown it. He really, really played well last. And that is the worst. There's nothing worse than stealing that pass and getting a bucket on you. Big shout out to Jrue Holiday, who is key for the Buck that they need. Now, I mentioned you went to game. Just to see what's happening on the floor, to get sounds and the sights and smells of being in NBA, something that we all miss so much. And that was the in between your Detroit Pistons. And of course, they lost the Pistons, but they lost to the Blazers. What did you see from the Pistons, who are one of those just trying to leapfrog Lakers in the standing?
I put on for my hometown in my city. Let me know next time somebody sit front row at a Michigan tournament game and then in a Pistons game back-to-back nights. Here's the thing that stood out to me. Dame Dollar has scored 30 points more than any player in the NBA. Nurkic has returned. He's on minutes restriction. C.J. Cullum has also returned. They added Norman Powell, who's going to be a great pickup. His speed, his defense, and his ability to fit in with them going to be big. Melo now coming off the bench, still getting buckets. Jones still playing defense. And you know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking?
Dame going to have a legitimate shot at winning MVP.
He is. Yes, he is.
That's what I was thinking. As we start talking about and we start sorting through these candidates, the Blazers are getting healthy. And as that happens, Dame Dollar continues to be outstanding like he has been the entire basketball year.
And one thing about the Blazers, C.J. McCollum came back from injury, but he spent no time. He wasn't on a minute restriction like Nurkic. He didn't have to work himself back shape. He's just back to the C.J. McCollum he was before the injury. There was a much improved C.J. McCollum than any we've seen before from him. And you meant Dame as the MVP, and I look at those Western Conference standings again, because that's play a role who wins the MVP. And you look at those Blazers also trying to climb up, and those Lakers as well. And look at the team behind the Mavericks. The play-in spot behind the Blazers, the Mavericks. That's the play-in spot. The Mavericks played last night, and they've been hot lately. And no one has been hotter than the leader of that team, Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic put on display yesterday, Mr. Rose. What do you think about Luka and his for MVP?
Jacoby, I don't see him as a MVP frontrunner this season. Porzingis in and out of the lineup based on how they sit in the standings. However, when we do, you got to worry about guys like Luka, as I just mentioned, Jacoby. Efficiency was outstanding. And Porzingis continued to put together a couple of good games.
He has.
And when you have a great player like Luka, and all of a sudden, a guy that's really struggled for 3. who all of a sudden now improving shooting from that range, and he loves that left-handed bounce before it goes into three. This is why you don't want to be the lower part of the West, because guys like this have a chance to eliminate you even if you're the favorite.
Absolutely. If you look at those West Conference standings one more time, it's really what's happening between basically 4 and 10, because there's a lot of movement that's going to happen. There's a lot of jockeying for position, and also 1 and 2, 3. You don't want to see Lakers in the first round. No one wants to see Lakers in the first round, especially if LeBron, AD are healthy. That is something to keep an eye on. But something to keep an eye on more immediate future is NFL draft. And we've seen all these pro days and what they're talking about. Oh, Zach Wilson threw this, and Jeff Fields looked like that. Trevor Lawrence is going to the next. But there's one player in this draft that I believe is a sure thing. You never know what quarterbacks. Remember what everyone said? Sam Darnold when he came, Baker Mayfield when he came out. There's one person in this draft is a sure thing, and that is tight end from the Florida Gators, Kyle Pitts. He had his pro day yesterday, and he showed out. Absolutely showed out. 4.45 40 dash. Vertical, crazy. Just lit 225 a million times in a row. But it's what he does in the weight room, what he does on the field. Last year, this tight end had 43 catches, 770 yards, 12 touchdowns. Didn't even play the whole season. Again, the great season for a tight end. He didn't play. He played about 7.5 games. And Mr. Rose, when we talk about the bad ends in the NFL, whose names come up? Of course, it's Kelsey. And of course, it's Kittle and Waller.
Check.
Pitts is joining that group. And he's not a tight end, not a big hulking block tight end like those guys, but he's a receiver. You can split out in the slot. You can stretch him out wide. He can go up over DBs. No backers can cover him. He is an absolute problem. So if you're Falcons, are you going to pass on him? If you're the Bengals, are you going to pass on him? And don't let him fall to Dolphins. This is the only sure thing. The draft, Sewell probably because nasty, but in mind, in terms of offense, skill position, weapon, Kyle Pitts is only sure thing in this draft. And if you're general manager of the Falcons or the Bears and you do not pick him, you messed up. He should go to the Falcons. He should be the first non-quarterback chosen in this draft. And Jalen, I know what you're thinking. There's no chance he falls to the Lions. I'm sorry. There's no chance he falls to the Lions. There's no chance.
Falcons, Eagles, I have one sound for a prospect like that. Are you kidding me, dog? What you described as perfect Detroit Lion. I see him right now driving down the Line Freeway, get off at Grand River, going to the stadium, Ford. We got you, fella. We got you. Detroit Lions, that's our tight end. Jared Goff, that's new weapon right there.
That would be the great thing to happen to the Lions organization, because Kyle is going to be a superstar in the NFL. I promise you. But it is time for soft move or boss move. Jalen, a lot of people accuse you of having fake hairline or fake hair, but that's all natural. However, Young Jock, Atlanta's own Young Jock, it's going down.
It's going down.
He made some appearances with a full-on fake beard. He went from no facial hair to that in the barber hair. Soft move or boss move, the fake beard.
Any enhancements are boss moves. Do you think when you see somebody on the red carpet or at Emmys or Grammy or Golden Globes or special event or sporting event that they get glammed up first? They did their hair, they didn't do makeup, they didn't do their nails, they didn't try to have somebody help them with fashion. Now Sanders did it with hair, Brian Urquhart did it with his hair. I ain't mad at Young Jock. I ain't mad at him at all.
Boss move, but you know why I said a boss move? Because he owns it. He wasn't trying to pass it off as his beard. He posted the fact that he went from looking like me to having a full beard in the barber's chair. Big to Young Jock. Jalen Rose, it is open day, and of course we're going to celebrate Bacon Pier 7 in the Seaport District in Manhattan. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. It is now time where we make the mistake letting you decide, but because it is keep it moving. You want to discuss the topic, say breaks, and first is huge new contract right before opening day in Major League Baseball. Francisco Lindor agreed to a 10-year, $341 million contract. What's so significant about that number? $1 million more than Tatis got.
Participating in America's pastime has its privileges. It has the fewest American black participants based on the major sports. However, they have the best union, and they get paid top dollar. So much so that they don't have a salary cap. Look at this break, Jacoby. Of those 43 people, I'm pretty sure 51 of them could walk on the street respectfully and wouldn't necessarily draw out if they didn't know who they were. The 20 NBA players fall in a different category, but it just fascinates me that two-time more baseball players, in theory, make the big money over NBA and NFL players.
After knocking out Mitch, Francis and Gunn called out John Jones, and John Jones has responded about his demands of a matchup with Anu. says that $8 to $10 million is not enough money to fight Ngannou. And you know what? I don't give him. There's no other money that's enough to fight that man, Francis Ngannou.
That's where I was going. John Jones has been terrific at octagon, made many questionable decisions outside the octagon. This is a moment of clarity where we realize that he's not insane. He's not insane.
He said, I need another zero on the end of that if you want me to fight a man. Moving on. Jazz just continued their hot streak in the NBA. Hit breaks on this. Oh, she hit the music for you, Jay. Give it to him.
I'm glad that we're giving you this opportunity to highlight the Utah Jazz excellence. And like they've been doing the last couple years, shout to Mike Conley, shout to the Jazz. But I want to take a sec and shout by the way to my guy, Jordan Clarkson. Stop Asia hate. But I want to make sure I say this.
Okay.
Give Ja Morant his flowers right now. I'm telling you. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. returns, they're going to be a problem at the bottom of the West. I know y'all not talking about Memphis. Valanciunas has been playing well. They have Winslow on the wide. Dylan Brooks is one of the best three-point shooters volume in the league. I'm telling you guys, watch out for Memphis as the season progresses and get healthy.
Jalen, the Bulls and Suns game had up way past my bedtime. Keep moving the breaks.
We know Devin is that dude. Shout to Booker. Keep it moving for now.
We can move in. We can move.
The Rockets jumped out to an early lead against the Nets, but it worked out in the way we expected it would.
Hit the brakes on this one. Hit the brakes on this one.
The brakes on this one thing of significance was James Harden left the around the third quarter with a hamstring issue.
I want to talk to the word about terminology and the things that you say out of your mouth have meaning. When you say super team, that means it can win without the addition. In other words, Warriors could win 70-plus games without KD. This can't be a super team because this squad won't win the East without KD. For y'all that have not been paying attention, my brother missed last season due to an Achilles injury. And fortunately for him, he's had more time to recover from that injury basically than any elite player in the history of the league. But this year he now has a hamstring injury. And if you haven't looked deeper in the box score, he's missed more games than you realize. So therefore, I'll just say this. Adding the market, adding Blake, Harris making great reads, Kyrie like Marcus Haynes, it's all beauty. No KD, no Eastern Conference crown.
I definitely think the Nets are a super, but we can argue about that another show because to keep it moving to a signing in the NFL for the Seahawks. Keep moving the breaks.
Let me see. They brought Carson in the backfield, too. I like that. Rocket is a rocket. I love him going deep with Metcalf. But did Russell say he wanted to protect him on the offensive line? Is that? Didn't he say he was the most sacked quarterback since he's been in the league? Okay, so we'll keep it moving.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Snoop Dogg announced he's releasing a new album. Hit the brakes. Of course, he said it's called From the Street to the Suites. Think you mean by that?
All I know is anytime we can talk about OG Snoop Dogg on the show, we're going to do that. And we got to get him back on talk about his Lakers and if they're going to fall to a playoff game. Shout out to him and the OG from Mount Rushmore. QE40 and Too Short. Go support my G's.
Mount Westmore.
Mount Westmore.
Coming. Rose, our girl, Paige Buckets, got celebrated. She was named the AP Player of the Year after outstanding freshman season.
And also, she's a good charm for Gonzaga and sucks the superpower Jalen. The two best players in their respective support have a kinship that they're thriving. And I like to see UConn show Dino in a different light. You know, more lighthearted. You know, they're dumping buckets of confetti on him. They mess with his hair. He's giving the team an opportunity to enjoy the journey. Shout buckets. You've enjoyed to watch this entire season.
Here we are on opening day, yet the All-Star Game location is being discussed about moving. Will you why that is right after this, and you don't want to miss it. It's Jalen Jacoby. ABC on stage. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. Jalen here on opening day in the interview with President Biden, and he was asked about the MLB All-Star Game being held in Atlanta. He said he would strongly support moving the game out of Atlanta as a reaction to the new voting laws that were passed in Georgia. Your thoughts?
2 words, stay woke. When people tell you to shut up and drill or stick to sports, They understand that your voice resonates so powerful in your community that it can affect an election in Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan. So therefore, these players and Tony Clark, the leader of the Players Union in Major League Baseball, had a chance to send a message to the state of Georgia, who've changed 250 voter suppression type laws in order to try to make sure they influence the next election. Let's have Major League Baseball hold firm at its stance like basketball did when it went into the bubble. Those voices were heard.
Jalen, we have huge news in college basketball. An icon of college basketball, Roy Williams, retired after 33 seasons of head coach at the University of North Carolina.
A Hall of Famer, legend, a champion. I played against him while he was in Kansas. Did a terrific job of modernizing UNC basketball in a lot of ways. How given the job, Jerry Stackhouse or to Kenny Smith. Put Rasheed Wallace. How about Vincent? So many former players. Juwan Howard has laid the table. You see, Indiana had to follow suit. Mike Woodson. Stay tuned.
We'll be back tomorrow on ESPN at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us on Jalen and Jacoby.